I remember the first time I realized the pattern. I was 17, sitting at the kitchen table, my third relationship in shreds. My brother had leaned into every laugh, every shared secret, every intimate glance I thought I'd had alone with someone who cared. And my parents, they shrugged, smiled at him, excused it as sibling teasing. I tried to tell them it felt wrong. They didn't hear me. Not really. Years later, nothing had changed. My brother, tall, sharp-tongued, and blessed with effortless charm, moved through life with a sense of invulnerability. Every girlfriend I became a stage for him, a private performance I was forced to watch. And every time, I carried the residue of my own invisibility, resentment tangled with resignation. Then came Leela, my brother's latest conquest. I didn't know her, not really, but the stories floated around, her laugh, her independent streak, the subtle ways she pushed back. She was different from all the others, and I noticed the way he leaned in, already claiming her in the way he always claimed. I felt that familiar tightening in my chest, irritation, awareness, calculation. I didn't act immediately. I watched. I observed. Every lunch with him at the campus cafe, every casual encounter in the library, became an opportunity to see the mechanics of his control. How he assumed loyalty, attention, compliance. How my parents were still on his side, still ready to smooth over any ripple he caused. And then, one night, I made my choice. Not out of rage, not as punishment. I wanted control. I wanted the quiet satisfaction of shifting the axis of power without spectacle. I reached out to Leela, subtle, unobtrusive conversations at first. Shared study sessions, coffee between classes. We laughed together, our interactions harmless on the surface, friendly. But there was a tension underneath, a knowing, a glimmer of recognition that she, too, saw my brother in a certain light. The moment came slowly. I didn't rush it because urgency would have betrayed the plan. We were alone, a quiet evening in her apartment, the city lights stretching beyond the window. It was not cinematic, not dramatic, just two people connecting in a way that my brother had assumed would always belong to him. I let the boundary blur, not in chaos, but with precision. The act itself was quiet, deliberate. The consequences were immediate. My brother's calls, texts, and attempts to insert himself into her life escalated almost overnight. His composure cracked, small at first, a sharp edge in his voice when he thought I wasn't listening, a distracted glare at family gatherings. My parents noticed too. I didn't need to explain. Their eyes caught mine once, and I saw recognition, subtle, silent. They had underestimated me. The external turning point was at dinner one Sunday. My brother cornered me in the kitchen while my parents were in the living room. He was tense, attempting control through volume and familiarity. The familiar patterns of entitlement lined on his face. I responded calmly. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't plead. I let the silence stretch, letting him fill it with his own unraveling. Then, almost casually, I referenced something Leela had said to me. Just a line, harmless on its own. But his reaction was unmistakable. Eyes widened, mouth parted. A flush rose across his neck, and just like that, the unspoken hierarchy shifted. Authority intervened, in a way my parents couldn't ignore this time. The room felt smaller for him, and larger for me, without anyone needing to declare it. My parents stayed quiet, observing, recalibrating. After that, the dynamics at home subtly changed. I wasn't celebrated, not loudly. There was no applause. But I could see it in the micro-expressions, the hesitations, the careful tone he took around me. The quiet victory was mine, measured, internal, undeniable. I felt it in the way I held my head, the way I navigated the space between us, no longer anticipating erasure. The aftermath was complex. Leela and I did not pretend to be heroes in some drama. The ethical weight lingered. I knew what I had done was morally ambiguous, a reversal of power at the cost of personal boundaries and lingering guilt. But in reclaiming my dignity, I also confronted the uncomfortable truth: my family had never protected me. I had to. The story closes on a Saturday afternoon. The house is quiet. My brother's voice drifts from the living room, clipped, cautious. I sip my tea, letting the memory of the past and the quiet power of the present settle together. There's no celebration, no dramatic flourish. Just an acknowledgement. The pattern has been disrupted, and I am no longer invisible. The tension remains. My parents still struggle to recognize boundaries consistently. My brother still moves through life with charm and entitlement, but now with caution. I am left with my own reflection, a mixture of satisfaction and unease. I have agency. I have leverage. And I have learned that sometimes the quietest victories speak the loudest